Your task in writing today is to write your own limerick poem. You might have already touched on this in reading, but if you haven't, let's go over what makes a really successful limerick poem. Over here we have our steps to success. Now a limerick poem always has 5 lines. They are really silly poems and they are often about events that wouldn't happen, but the purpose of them is to make somebody laugh. Okay, all limerick poems follow a rhyming pattern. Okay, so we have certain words that rhyme in a limerick poem. The lines, line 1, line 2 and line 5, they all rhyme. Okay, and lines 3 and 4, they have words at the end that rhyme as well, that have the same sound. So when you come to write your own limerick poem today, there are a few steps that you need to follow to be successful. And let's just look at them now. So the first thing you're going to do, okay, is I want you to mind map some ideas. Think about what you want to write about. It could be a silly event, okay? It could be something that's going to make somebody laugh, okay? So think about what you want to write about. It could be your teacher, it could be uptown school, it could be an event that you and a birthday party. The next thing you're going to do is you can use the name as a subject. So most limerick poems start with there once was a boy named or there once was a girl named. Okay, when you choose your name, it's good to choose a name that you know rhymes with lots of words. For example, there once was a boy named Sam. Okay, because you know Sam rhymes with things, rhymes with words like ran, okay? Swam. So that would make your poem easier to write. You could focus on a town or a city, okay? But it needs to rhyme. So think of a word like Kentucky, for example, as a city, but it rhymes with lots and lots of other words because it has that sound in it that is used in lots of other words, okay? Then you need to look at the rhyming scheme because limerick poems all follow a rhyming scheme, okay? All of the words rhyme. Not all of the words rhyme, sorry, but it follows a rhyming scheme. If we look over here at this example, I'm going to read it to you and then we'll look at the rhyming scheme. A woman once heard a mouse ran screaming all throughout her house. She sent in the cat to dispose of the rat, to find it was only her spouse. So the rhyming scheme of limericks is A-A-B-B-A. So that means these 2 words, mouse, house and spouse, all rhyme, and cat and rat rhyme, okay? So you need to look at those rhyming schemes and make sure you have at least 3 words in your poem that rhyme and 2 other words that rhyme, okay? Also, limerick poems follow a pattern, okay? Lines 1, 2 and 5 often are slightly longer and they have around 8 to 9 syllables in each line. So if you count through your syllables, a woman who once heard a mouse ran screaming all throughout her house. Okay, those lines are slightly longer. Okay, lines 3 and 4 usually only have about 5 to 6 syllables in the whole line. So let's clap through it. She sent in the cat, okay, to dispose of the rat. So they're shorter lines 3 and 4, okay? So once you've looked at the rhyming scheme, the next thing you need to do is to make sure that your poem is silly, okay? The purpose of it is always to be to make it exciting to read and to make the reader laugh. So there could be an event or something that happens that makes it interesting to listen to. Next thing you're going to do is to edit and perfect your writing. And we do this in all pieces of writing. We go back and edit, check our spellings. Okay? Right. Now you're going to write your own limerick. I'm going to do one as an example, and you already have here 3 more examples of poems that you could imitate some of the sentences, okay? So I'm going to think about my steps to success, okay? And I'm going to start off with, I'm going to introduce somebody's name, okay? I'm going to put, I had a phone meeting. I need to make this a bit smaller. I had a phone meeting with and I'm going to use somebody's name. I'm going to use a name that rhymes with lots of things. So I'm going to say Ted. Okay, I had a phone meeting with Ted. Who, I'm going to put whom, it turns out was, and I'm going to say he was ill. Ill in his, what rhymes with Ted? Bed. Okay, so I had a phone meeting with Ted, whom it turns out was ill in bed. Next line. Remember, this needs to be slightly shorter, okay, and it doesn't need to rhyme with lines 1 and 2. He thought it was muted, so he thought the phone call was muted. And now I need to think of something that rhymes with muted. He thought it was muted, which wasn't suited. I don't know if this really makes sense. I might have to perfect it. Which wasn't suited. I had a phone meeting with Ted, whom it turns out was ill in his bed. He thought it was muted, which wasn't suited. Now I need to think of something that rhymes with Ted and bed. I'm going to think to find out maybe you can do the last line for me, okay? I'm having a little bit of a need to think here, okay? But that is what you need to do. Write your own limerick. I'm excited to see what you create. Good luck.